Please welcome our next presenter, Amber Wakem from Startup Kids Club.
When our kids are little, we tell them, dream big. Anything's possible. Reach for the stars. And then 25 years later, they're still sitting on our couch. How is it that 67% of young adults are failing to launch? These are kids who went to school, some even graduated college, yet lack the fuel in their tank needed for what comes next. It doesn't take a rocket scientist to realize that while our kids are learning to pass a test, they're passing by the crucial skills needed to succeed beyond the classroom and, well, our couch. At Startup, we believe the solution isn't academic rigor, it's experiential. Using entrepreneurship to unlock the genius in every child, our program looks to meet kids where they are, regardless of their background or ability, and empower them to take ownership of their ideas, their choices, their outcomes. Working both as an after-school program and an integrated elective, Startup follows the calendar year, supporting students 5 through 18 by giving them real-life experiences like our markets and retreats to make meaningful connections between what they learn and what they do. Because we know kids are always watching, we look to create realistic role models by tapping into the wealth of knowledge in their community. Since launching in the fall of 2017, we've grown from 1 to 13 locations purely by word of mouth, helping our kids become profitable and gain valuable life skills. But what I'm most proud about is how 7 out of 8 of our parents reported an increase in their family connection, and that we had the opportunity to watch as the community rallied together and invested their most precious resource in these kids, their time. Starting out, our goal was to impact students, but we're finding this approach has the power to transform communities. Building off of that platform, we've packaged together all of our tools to replicate our impact in communities around the country. With flexible options and hands-on training, Startup is meant to be easily implemented by not just schools, but entrepreneurs and stay-at-home moms, anyone looking to make a difference. Through licensing, we've been able to remove the financial barrier for 75% of our enrolled students, equaling the playing field and ensuring access to high-quality programming to support every child's big dream. Using that proven model, we want to change the lives of not just the kids, but the families in San Antonio, the way we have in Austin. Today, we're asking for $75,000 to help us mobilize our program here. Your help will allow us to hire quality ground support and ensure for every licensed child, a scholarship is available. Your boost will allow us the opportunity to establish a solid foundation as we gain community partners to scale our impact, so that by year 5, for every licensed child, 3 scholarships are available for half the cost. It is no secret, a child's big dream doesn't stop at their front door. San Antonio, together, let's show these kids what's really possible when we take that first step.
So explain, you're in the schools, is that where you're talking about the locations? And
Yes.
Okay. And
We have school locations and community locations at libraries and co-working spaces.
And how long is the program, like when you're working with these kids, how long?
So we follow the calendar year, so we start in September in our community locations and go through December, and then we pick back up in February and go through May, allowing students the time to transition and get back into schedule.
I'm thinking about scalability. You said you've gone from 1 to 13 locations. Is that just from individuals, like specific donations? How do you plan to support growth? This seems like it's personnel intensive, volunteer intensive.
So what we've done is that we've basically created a peer-reviewed curriculum that we have then married up with visual presentations and teacher training guides, as well as some videos. We're starting on that series right now. So we can hand that off with training to different volunteers. Think about a Boy Scouts or a Girl Scouts almost, and empower the community to be able to invest in these students.
So David's area might be basketball, but motivating young kids to get off the couch might be more up my alley. I have a 14-year-old at home, and I just can't figure it out. So my question is, like, how the curriculum was developed, what body of evidence or research was utilized to develop the curriculum to really build those entrepreneurial skills in young people.
Definitely. So I actually built the curriculum. I taught for over a decade. I quit my job to actually do this, and I did a ton of research, built it, and started handing it off to people, and would get feedback like, I wish I had this when I was a kid, or this is better than some college curriculum. So we cover all the bases.
I'm curious, as part of the curriculum, is there like a capstone project or something that the children do as a demonstration of the skills they've learned?
Yes, if you look, the pictures that we've had in the back are actually real students from our markets. They build their business each week, and then we have 2 markets a semester. So basically their first market, they go, they present, they get feedback from the community. We bring them back and say, okay, how'd it go? What worked? What didn't work? What can you do better? Giving them a chance to iterate, as well as understand that failure can be feedback, and that life is not a one and done. It takes a commitment. And then we have a second market and are able to maintain an 82% retention rate between our students.
How are you driving down the cost per child?
Excuse me?
How are you driving down the cost per child?
We have taken our fiscal operating budget between the markets, our pitch competitions, small business awards, anything that we do, as well as the cost to program, and we basically divided that by the number of students that we reach each year, which is why our numbers go down.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.